Hi, Eric here, again with some amazing AE-1200 mods, a quick presentation for just a small fraction of our colorway, but more importantly, this is a video about a raffle we're about to launch. So please stay tuned and keep watching if you want to win yourself a nice piece of SKXMOD Casio Royale yourself. Okay, without further ado, let's get our hands on the mod. We've prepared the OG AE-1200, well, AE-1200WHD-1A to be exact. We can take a look on the original watch in its untouched status. You have this bracelet made of only metal sheets wrapping around and an alloy mid-case with plastic movement holder inside and nothing more. With that being said, this is still a very soft after piece. Why? Simply because the cost-performance ratio is off the chart. For a fraction of the price, you are getting basic time functions and fundamental protection against harsh environment and weather. But there are always people out there wanting more. They want more dashing look, more advanced protection to have it endure literally everything come at it. And this is where our revamped version of Modern Kit comes to light. Within the Modern Kit, you'll have a cushion pad to operate the installation upon. For case and bracelet Modern Kit, you will be receiving this exact packaging and content inside. Let's go through them one by one. The casing milled from solid piece of 316L stainless steel, glass from once mineral to sapphire. Also a super hard coating is applied. For testing, you can see this particular episode we made. The bracelet, every single link pieced together by 3 individual parts, with screws to secure them, of course. Clasps remain the original style as well, but using material far more superior, lightweight yet built to last. And a pair of FKM based rubber gaskets for customers who doesn't just want the style, but also in dire need to revive his opal from many years of use. This is a simple push pin and some spare spring bars. And these are the screws for your case back, specifically made for our casing. By the way, if you purchase only the Modern Kit, you'll be using your original case back to complete the installation. And here we have 3 screwdrivers as well. Form factors are all written on the handle, and you should follow our installation guide to use them accordingly. We will be needing this yellow one to break down your original watch. But you may choose to remove the bracelet first. There are no certain sequence of parts removal, only your personal preference. And from this lonely head of a watch, we can start removing the case back as well. Using the yellow screwdriver, you can easily take out the 4 screws securing it, and is most recommended to operate upon the cushion pad. In order to avoid the slip of your hand might result in unnecessary injuries, also a protection for your table. One thing to keep in mind here, the original screws cannot be used again for the Modern Kit, but on the contrary, you'll be needing the case back to complete the mod. Next, you'll need this flat-headed screwdriver to pry the movement out, along the edges gently loosening it. Best if you can wear finger gloves to avoid dust fall on the screen. You can cover it with a plastic cup or something similar. And this front panel or plate, you'll need to transplant this to the new Modern case as well. So next, wrap your case in the Modern Kit and peeling the protection sticker first. It's just a habit of mine, you can do it last, it's okay either way. If you got one of these dust blowers, it would be nice, and the most perfect tool would be an air compressor with a duster connected, which we do before the protection of your ears, and this will do. Again, avoid contaminating the inner parts, but if you are not that much of a fan of gloves, then pinching on the edges will do the job as well. We are not handling something as delicate as mechanical watch after all. And the rest is pretty much in reverse of what you did earlier, but do watch out for the panel's orientation. The textures should be in the same direction with the lettering on the case. And now we move on to the movement. You tuck it in one side first and press along the edges till it's halfway in. And when it does, you'll need to use a flat-headed screwdriver again to press down on the button's actuator to let the movement fully sit into place. And we'll do the same on the other side with the two other buttons actuator. Now it looks pretty flat to the surface to me, so shall we proceed? But first, let's see if the buttons still work. Yup, it does. And now we should put on the O-ring, or more commonly known, the gasket. If yours still in good condition, you can definitely reuse it and keep ours staved up until next time. You know, as a backup spares, but I guess it'll be a very long time. As long as it stays within the trench, then you're good to go. Lastly, we have the case back to close it all off. Again, you have the orientation of the case back standing upright, and your casing have to standing upright. Otherwise, you won't make the beeping function or the button sound to be in working status. Well, let's find out if they still work or not. Alright then, let's get some elbow grease. Remember, our screws to use on our case. You see, in this bag of 5 screws, you will be needing 4 of them, 1 for spare. For securing screws, you actually do need a certain procedure, that is screwing them diagonally. It will even out the pressure on the case back and lesser chance to get stripped screws. And you'll need this orange handle screwdriver to finish the process. Remember, first counterclockwise until you hear a click. That means the thread is catching in. Let's take a look on the finished product. Next we have bracelet or rubber band if you decided to purchase the case by itself, but the methods is all the same. They are all secured by the good old spring bar system. And this is a removing pin. You can use it to push out the stubborn screws in the bracelet. And for the sake of demonstration, I'll be using 2 new spring bar from the modern kit that we provided. And let's look out for the orientation, shall we? The one side with the clasp opening should be the 6 o'clock and the other side should be 12. You first place the spring bar into the bracelet, then aiming one side of the spring bar to a divot on the case. Then use this blue handle screwdriver to press on the other side of the spring bar and eventually have a stretch between the watch lugs. There you go. Wasn't that hard, was it? And duplicate the process on the other side of the bracelet. Could be a bit stressful to finish the rest, but with one side already attached, you just give it a bit wiggle and it will eventually work out. Okay, there you go. This is the finished product, with a bracelet attached to it. In last episode of AE-1200 modding, tutorial, we already talked about why we didn't want to include a heavy-duty clasp into the mod. It's the general aesthetic of it and the practicality of daily wearing a chunky piece. The original structure is sturdy enough, and premium steel will only make it stronger. So, back on track. The blue handle one, again, is the one you use to remove the screws on the bracelet. And because they are all applied with glue in the factory, during the sizing, please do not use brute force when you feel resistance spinning counterclockwise. Otherwise, it will ruin the head of the screws and nearly impossible to taking it out again. For such situation, we suggest applying heat to the links first. A hairdryer would be ideal, because the screws are too small to lift up by our fingertips. You can use this pusher to push out. The entire process is still very intuitive. You can first put the model watch on wrist and estimate how many links are about to be removed. Then, do what I just did. There is still protection sticker on the bracelet, but after taking the screws out, you can just yank out the links as well. There are no extra parts in the links anymore. For standard, totally 10 of them links removable on the entire bracelet, but more can always be added. Just give us a heads up before purchasing. And now, shall we move on to the exciting part? How to join our Raffle. Well, to get the entry of this Raffle, you'll need to first subscribe to our channel and website, links down below, and then comment on this very episode with the thoughts to the mod, to the watch, and to the brand even. Suggestion or criticism all accepted, no insulting of course. And lastly, I'll need you guys post on Instagram with a picture of AE-1200 or 1300 you are rocking with our account tagged, along with the hashtag SKXMOD, hashtag Casio Royale, and hashtag giveaway. And after you've done all that, fill in the following form as well. You can either scan the QR code or use the link below. Just a way for us to keep up with the contestants and their contents. After the raffle ended, our team will choose one out of the bunch as the winner. He or she will get the chance to have a fully customized Casio Royale with colorway on their own request, for which we've done quite some already, one being the silver and black buttons on this very tutorial, and the other one is quite wild, I'll have to admit. So the sky is literally the limit for the Royale mods, and I can't wait to see you guys' excellent work. And who knows, maybe you are the lucky star to have your wildest mod come to life. So, this has been Eric, and we'll see you again until next time. Bye.